In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build your own QR code generator in C#. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is go to your terminal, right? So make sure that you are on your console project level folder. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just say cd qr app. All right, so I'm on my project level folder now. Okay, so just to give you an idea here, this is a console project app. Okay, very easy to create. I'll assume that you already know how to create this, but in case you didn't know, there is a video that I did on how to create a C# project files. It's really just a 2-minute video. It's very short, but yeah. So this is my console project that I've created already. All right, so I'm just gonna add a few packages here in order to prepare myself for building the QR code generator. So what I'm gonna add first is, so I'm gonna say .net add package, right? Let me just enhance this a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna say QRCoder. All right, that's the first package I'm gonna add. All right, so my second package would be .net add package SkiaSharp. All right, SkiaSharp. Okay, so just note that if you can't see clearly here, this is .net add package SkiaSharp, right? But I'm gonna add these commands on the description below the video. Okay, so I'm just gonna enter this. All right, so now that that's done, I'm gonna close my terminal and go to my program.cs file, right? So I'm going to go to my program.cs file and then I'm going to clear everything here. Now let's actually get started with the fun part. The first thing I want to do is import a few modules. So the first one is going to say using system. All right. Next is using our QRCoder, using SkiaSharp, using for file operations system.io. Alright, so you should have these modules imported for your code to work properly. Alright, so just be careful of that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is create a class. So I'm going to say class program. Alright, and under this class I'm going to create a method, static void main entry point of my code. All right, so inside this method, I then am going to start to create my QR code generator. Very important. Remember, a QR code is actually a secure way of sharing information, right? So what you want to do is provide information, right, where a user can scan the QR code and then go to that information, or maybe even go to that link. So in my case, I'm going to create a QR code. When the user scans this QR code, they're going to actually be provided with a link to my website. So therefore, I need a link to my website. I'm going to say string my website, and then I'm going to provide the link to my website, https://fallenworldstudios.com. All right, so this is a link to my website. And now let's create the QR code. So I'm going to say QR code generator. You just do this. And I'm going to create an instance of the QR code generator. I'm going to say new QR code generator. So I've just created an instance of the QR code generator. And then now I'm going to say QR code data, right? QR code data. This is where I'm going to put the data for the QR code. So I'm just going to say QR code generator instance. The one that I created above, it needs to be the instance. So that's that. Dot create QR code. All right, and inside this, I'm gonna put information for my link. All right, so I'm gonna say my website. All right, and then I'm gonna say QR code generator ECC level.q. All right, and then I'm gonna say bitmap bytes. I need bitmap byte QR code. Okay, you need that class. Okay, and then you're gonna say QR code, and then I'm gonna say new bitmap byte QR code, and then you're gonna put in the QR code data that you generated above. All right, so QR code data. this. So this instance right here, be careful, okay? So this one is a small letter, right? This is an instance of this class. All right, so this to have a small letter here, QR code data. All right, and then I'm gonna say byte array with a byte array of QR code bytes. I'm gonna say QR code dot get graphic. All right, that's gonna 20 here, and then I'm gonna say using var bitmap sk for my SkiaSharp. Sk, where is my sk bitmap? So sk bitmap, because I wanna actually decode these bytes right here. So I'm gonna say sk bitmap dot decode, and then I'm gonna provide my QR code bytes. So this instance that I created right here of the QR code bytes graphic. Okay, very important. And then I'm gonna say using oh man using var image. I'm gonna say sk image this time, right? I'm gonna say dot from bitmap, right? And then I provide the bitmap that is above. So I'm just gonna say bitmap instance right here. Okay, so this bitmap right here. Okay, very important. And then we're gonna say lastly using var data, right? And I'm gonna say image, which is the image that I created above, and I'm gonna say dot encode, right? And then I'm gonna say sk encode image format, and then I want it to be in the format png. Okay, in the format png. All right, and then I'm gonna provide the quality. Let's make it 100. Okay, and then finally I'm gonna save it. Okay, so I'm gonna say file dot write all bytes, right? And then I'm gonna provide the location for my file. So in this case, I just want it to appear here directly on my working directory. So I want on my working directory. Okay, so I want it to appear here, right? So you could actually store it in a different location on your device by actually providing the specific location. But in this case, I'm just gonna provide the name so that it appears here. Okay, so let's just do it and stop talking. Right, so I'm gonna say QRCode .png, right? So this file right here should appear there, and then I'm gonna provide the actual information, right? I'm gonna say data, and then I'm gonna convert it to array, right? And then finally I'm gonna just provide a message for myself to make sure that the QR code was created successfully. I'm just gonna say QR code created successfully. All right, this should be enough. Okay, so now let us actually run the code and see if it actually works. So I'm gonna go to my terminal right here, right? I'm gonna expand it. All right, I'm gonna clear everything that is here, and then I'm gonna say .net run. All right, so if everything works out perfectly, the QR code should appear here above my project level. All right, so it appears that I'm actually missing a few libraries. Okay, do not panic. This only means that I'm actually running Linux. Okay, so if I'm running Linux, I'm going to have these problems. If you're also running on Linux, you will also have these problems. Okay, this is very easy to fix. Okay, you just need a few libraries. All right, for instance, here they're saying you're missing this library, libSkiaSharp. Okay, it was not found. All right, so what we're gonna do is actually try and add that library. Okay, so the first thing we want to do though, since we are on Linux, is run these few commands. All right, so what I'm going to do is get rid of this. All right, and then click and paste this commands right here. So do not worry, you don't have to cram all this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is provide these commands right? I'm going to provide these commands in the description, right? So just check the video in the description below. You should see these commands. Okay, so let me just run them. All right, so just remember, I will provide the library commands in the description of the video. So just check the description of the video. I'm also going to run this command. So I'm also going to add an additional package. Okay, this package right here. .NET add package, SkiaSharp.native assets, Linux no dependencies. Because remember, I am on Linux, so I need to add this. Okay, so I'm just going to add this as well. Alright, now I can actually run the project. Alright, so what I'm going to do first though is say .NET clean, right? And then I'm going to say .NET build and finally I'm going to say .NET run the project. Alright, and it says QR code created successfully. Alright, so if I check here, you can see there is my file created right here, and if I click on it, you can see it here on the right. Alright, so I don't really know whether this works or not, but you can actually scan it on your device, right? So if you have a phone, you can scan this and it should lead you to my website. Okay, so I'm kidding, it actually works. I've tested it on my phone, it works. So just scan it and then it can actually give you a link to my website. Alright, so I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe and comment down below if you have any issues. Okay, thanks.